The mayor and police commissioner in Baltimore say the credit for decreasing violent crime in the city doesn't just go to one person or one agency. We wanted to know if a specific policy change played any role. The legalization of marijuana. WMAR-2 News Elizabeth Worthington dug into this question for us today. So Elizabeth, why do we think that may have been a contributing factor?
Yeah, well, Kelly, when marijuana became legal in 2023, theoretically, Baltimore police officers should have been able to dedicate more time to tackling violent crime. And in the last 2 years, we have seen historic reductions in homicides and shootings. But did the legalization of marijuana actually play a role in that? What some experts say tends to differ from what police are actually seeing on the streets. Whenever there's a debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana, one of the biggest arguments, both for and against it, is that it will impact crime rates, either for better or for worse. Advocates for legal pot say it helps free up police resources, limits crimes related to the illegal drug market, and reduces alcohol use, which is more heavily linked to violence. But studies, mostly focused on early adopters like Oregon or Colorado, show mixed results. And on the ground here in Baltimore, Police Commissioner Richard Worley says,
I don't think it's really had an effect on violence because almost every day that we talk about incidents, it's still over marijuana sales.
Maryland legalized weed in July of 2023. In both 2023 and 2024, Baltimore saw a double-digit drop in murders and a 7% drop in shootings in 2023 and a 34% drop in 2024. But marijuana is still at the center of some of those shootings, Worley says.
We had a shooting last week. The individual had 3 or 4 pounds of marijuana in his car. It was probably a meetup that went wrong. So marijuana, the illegal sales and distribution of marijuana is still a problem.
If you are serious about legalizing cannabis or any other drug in a way that is going to have a reduction in crime, you really have to make sure that those that were selling drugs on the illicit market have an opportunity to enter the legal market. If they can't make money, then they're just going to continue to do what they know how to do.
Veronica Wright, founder of the Maryland-based National Coalition for Drug Legalization, recently did a study with help from public health researchers at Johns Hopkins. Examining data from 2012 to 2019, they found that areas where drug enforcement was highly concentrated later saw higher rates of violent crime. She says legalizing only marijuana won't do enough to lower crime. Sellers in the illicit market will just move on to other drugs.
You really have to look at how you're going to legalize and regulate the other drugs if you want to see a significant reduction in crime and overdoses. People die of overdoses because they don't know what's in their drugs.
Well, one thing most researchers will agree on, we need a lot more data before we can draw any real conclusions about the impact legalizing marijuana has had on crime in Baltimore. Kelly?